Yep.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Oh. Did our recording turn into a ghost?
Oh, wait. Okay, we're back. Okay, sorry, my internet cut out. All
Okay.
right. And
Good start.
here we go. Today's podcast is brought to you by Rose McIver and Motorcycle Cages.
This week's podcast is also brought to you by Weird Vibes and Merchandising Suckers.
Ooh. I'm your host, Madison.
I'm your other host, Jesse James.
All
So,
right.
so now that you've learned all about iZombie Lady,
Yes.
do you want to
Who
talk
is
about
Rose
her?
McIver?
I'll never remember that. But do you want to talk about the weirdness that you were just telling me?
Oh yeah. Okay. So just so everybody is aware, uh, Rose McIver is in The Lovely Bones, and she plays a younger sister to Saoirse Ronan, who at the time was like 16, and she's playing the younger sister when she's like 21, I think she would have been.
That
And for some reason, this is blowing my mind.
that seems like a very strange dynamic to try and keep when you're acting.
Yeah, it seems like it would be. Um, but that's interesting. I like that they work together. I never would have recognized her because she looks so different. She does pass as like a 14-year-old.
Yeah, from
Really...
the pictures that I saw, it looked like they just like made her hair look really uncared for and like limp, and then pulled it back real tight, which I
Yeah.
guess is if if you haven't figured out hair care yet, you look younger.
Yeah. Yeah. Throw in a sweatshirt and a ponytail, and there you go.
Is that sweatshirt too big? Now you're younger.
Now you're 14, and you're also Saoirse Ronan's younger sister.
So what is Ronan from? Where do you know her?
She, let's see, what else is she in? She was just in that one movie that was, what was it called? It,
That one.
that one. Lady Bird. She was.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen it, but it's like popular.
It's one of those movies.
It's one of those. It looks really interesting, and I want to see it, but I haven't. What else is she in? I know her mainly just from Lovely Bones, because
Okay.
I watched that movie when in like 7th grade and was scarred by it, but really liked it at the same time. So
Sounds like when I watched Dogtooth. I should
Dog.
have you seen
No.
Dogtooth? Oh.
Oh.
I should I should try and make you watch Dogtooth at some point.
Mm.
Uh
Is it like horror?
in a way, uh Dogtooth is a story about a family, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a really good summary.
Uh if you have more of a summary than that, it doesn't have quite the same impact, I feel like.
Okay. Well, that can be my homework for this week.
Probably not this week. It's not a good holiday movie. Or a
Oh.
perfect holiday movie, it depends. I'm gonna take a large sip of this strong mint kombucha I got going over here.
Ooh. I have
Ah,
a strong McDonald's latte.
oh hell yeah!
Oh hell yeah!
The latte that is basically just foam.
Yeah, and I got a small, so it's just like this,
Mhm.
like tiny, tiny amounts of coffee with lots and lots of foam. So that's good.
I will, if it's cared for by the people who make it, the coffee at McDonald's isn't bad, at least.
No, it's mostly I was going for the egg McMuffin or the sausage McMuffin. Yeah.
Oh, so what night were you at your Chainsmokers concert?
That was Tuesday night.
Okay, I rearranged schedule. I was gonna go just do some random shit on Tuesday night, and the person I was gonna go do it with texted me and was like, "Hey, we should move it to next week because I'm surprised going to Tacoma to a concert."
Oh, really?
And then I got a bunch of videos via like public videos on Instagram of the concert, and it looked pretty good.
That's actually one of my topics was motorcycle cages. So that's in reference to the concert, which had a motorcycle cage.
How did they utilize a motorcycle cage?
It was like one of those things they have in like I want to say a circus where it's like a sphere and they all go at the same time and try not to kill each other. Yeah. And basically they just like had it descend from the top during some very loud music interlude. And
were there motorcycles?
Yeah.
Okay, so they did like, have the death box. That's good.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that part was cool. It was probably the loudest concert I had ever been to because my brother is like a huge fan of the Chainsmokers. They're like his idols. So we had to sit in line for about 5 hours so that we could be at the very, very front is what he wanted. So he got to like touch the guy, which was very exciting.
Oh, the guy.
The guy. He touched the guy.
How was touching the guy?
Well, I also, not to brag, touched the guy, and
yeah,
it was
how was it?
Fine.
Nice.
My brother got really excited though because he was wearing a T-shirt that I guess is made by the Chainsmokers videographer person, and so he was wearing that in the very front, and the guy whose name is Drew, I think, as he was like running by and like slapping all the hands, he was like, "I like your shirt," and Carter about lost it. So
that's good. Funny. I go to a lot more sporadic shows now, but when I was going to shows very regularly, I probably would have been excited to touch the guy as well. Though a lot of the bands that I went to the most, the guy would probably be jumping on top of all of us instead of reaching out and touching us, but you can't really do that at a stadium show as easily.
It was a lot of like running up and down the track runway that they had created, and a lot of jumping. And I mean it was entertaining, but it was pretty much exactly the concert that I expected from the Chainsmokers.
Okay.
A lot of there was a lot of fireworks. That was cool.
Huh. I haven't been to very many shows with fireworks.
Yeah, I was worried about it. I feel like unless it's somebody that I personally really, really like a band, one of my favorite bands, I don't think it's worth it for me to be in general admission anymore. I just hate it the whole time.
Yeah.
So
you don't like
it makes me feel old because I'm there and everybody's screaming and I'm just getting increasingly angrier and like want to turn around and tell people to shut the fuck up, stop screaming in my ear. But no.
Well, it sounds like you're a fun concert goer at least.
I am if it's like my people, but Chainsmokers are not my people.
That's fair. And also, to be fair, my version of that is places that hold like 100 people at the most. So that's I'm not a huge fan. Like the Showbox in Seattle is about as big as I'm interested in, and they can hold quite a few.
Yeah, I was there not too long ago to see the 1975, which is a band whose guy I would like to touch.
Yeah.
And I didn't do the whole wait in line for a million years thing, but yeah,
To get
it was
touched.
to get touched. I was in general admission and it was bad. Like people were multiple people in front of us passed out and were like taken out because they
Oh,
were
nice.
dying. So yeah, that was when I kind of decided like I think I'm done with general admission unless it's somebody that I would really, really, really like to touch.
Yeah. Speaking of people that I'm sure everybody would really like to touch, one of my favorite uh, it wasn't that long. I went and saw MSI at the Showbox, and then which like as a band, like liking or disliking them makes sense either way. But the band that was like after their opener was maybe the worst in a like professional-ish venue band I've ever seen. Like
What?
there was another band that I saw at one of the Home for the Horror Days or whatever that was I think I've mentioned it to you at least. It's a band that was two guys and one guy was completely hidden behind a stack of like synthesizers and the other
Mm-hmm.
guy had a microphone but was like barely doing anything, but behind them they had a fisheye night vision video of a close-up of a hairbrush. Uh,
I hate everything about this.
and it was just like somebody basically what I am intending to do with the theme song for this was what they had done for an entire show.
Oh, perfect.
And it was that was not bad, but that was not good. This other place, I think it's a band called like Bad Acid Trip, which uh,
Okay.
it's not worth looking them up, but they did like bits between their like really lackluster music, and their bits were all like, and guess what? I have a large dildo on stage and like wiggling around.
Oh yeah.
Well, like they wanted people to be really excited about it, so they were wiggling it around for like a minute or two and not doing anything. It was just uh, some choices were made by their
Oh,
planning.
I mean, yeah. That's some people like motorcycle cages,
Uh-huh.
others large dildos, and that's fine. It takes all kinds.
Well, the group of people there would have been totally fine with a large dildo joke. Like that's totally if have you ever listened to MSI? It's like scuzz
No.
rock. Um, it honestly, it's like scuzz techno, and the guy who heads it, Jimmy Urine, does like
Urine? That's his
yeah.
last name?
Well,
Nice.
that's not his actual last name. His last name is something else. Anyway, he uh, he does like soundtrack. Uh, what would it be like direction? I guess for video games as like a side job, and most of those games are also like kind of scuzzy. But yeah, I'll send you some samples of their stuff. You probably won't like it, or you will think that it's at least funny.
Okay.
uh,
That's good.
but you'll probably also see why it's good to see live. Anyway, uh, that show was a few years ago, and when I was down there looking to see like where we should like line up, it was like the night before or something. Uh,
Hmm.
because I was living in Seattle, so I figured I would swing by and like make sure nothing had changed. Um, the show that was going up and had a line for it was the Insane Clown Posse, and that line stretched like around the block and back behind the building, and it
Oh
was
wow.
probably the most entertaining line of people I've ever seen going into that building.
That would be a good line.
A lot of jugglers and jugglerettes.
Chocolate.
But we also found I think it had to be related because it was like a day or two after that. It was like around the same time. Uh, Up by the apartment that we were in, there was just a door ripped off its hinges that had "Wake Up Sheeple" like graffitied on it and
Nice.
thrown into the bushes, which I would at least like to believe was associated with the Insane Clown Posse showing up. I'm sure a
Probably.
lot of people from my hillbilly high school were very happy that they came to town that one time.
Oh my gosh. A door in the bushes really is quite the statement.
Yeah, it was like right outside of the place I was living too, so they had some reach.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's an
So,
experience.
so what did you what did you think of um, your Christmas Prince experience before I get very I guess over complimentary and also very hateful about things later?
Okay, so Christmas. Let me pull up my notes because I took some extensive extensive notes.
All right, you get your
Um,
paperwork.
I got my paperwork ready. So just something I noticed. Pretty much all of these Christmas movies start with dead parents or a
Uh-huh.
recent breakup.
Yeah, somebody has to be missing at the start in some fashion.
Yeah. So I think in um like what's the first one we watched with Vanessa Hudgens?
Oh,
The night before Christmas, her parents were
yeah.
dead.
Yep.
Uh, I'm getting my Christmas movies like they're all blurring into
I've
one.
seen like 14 at this point, so I'm having to try really hard to keep them together.
Yeah. Um, Christmas Prince. Her parents, I think, had. Oh no, it was a breakup. I think at the beginning of that one, and
Okay.
then the Princess
So
Switch.
it's
No,
more
Princess
like a
Switch's
dog
breakup.
walker's Christmas.
Yes, closer to that.
Okay.
Um, but I liked the beginning of the Christmas Prince. It reminded me of the um, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, but just
Okay.
not at all funny or charming like that was.
Uh-huh.
And I really hate these like annoying sidekick people that she has that
Yeah.
she calls. Like the um I don't know. It seemed like they were just like she's from New York, so she has to have like a gay friend and
Yeah.
a black friend. So um, that was a fun little tidbit.
Yeah, there's a lot of very stereotypical bits in that movie. I'm not really sure if like that was part of the deal for doing iZombie or something. You have to also do these terrible movies for us.
she she had to be Amber Moore so that she could become Liv Moore.
Yeah. The I I would like to think that they're two alternate universes where
Mm.
at the start of the movie you're seeing it go one way or the other. So she was actually on a drug boat before Christmas Prince starts.
I like that. I think yeah, they should do a fusion of those two films or not films but ideas.
If they made the fourth one tie together, I would be way more interested in the rest of them.
Yeah. We'll have to send a tweet to, what's his name? Rob Thomas, who I think produces that. Okay. Which is hilarious to me. I think that's so funny. Because he's the Matchbox 20 guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really funny.
He also is in one of my favorite episodes of Always Sunny.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Have you watched any of that?
I've watched a little bit. It's pretty funny. I like it.
Okay. There is an episode not too far into the series that has him and Sinbad in it. And it's a very good episode.
I'll have to look that up. I also like the episode of iZombie that he puts himself into. That's pretty good.
Is he in the... He's not in the extreme energy drink one, right? Is it something else?
I can't remember.
Okay. We'll have to look into that harder in the future.
We'll look into it. I think I can remember, but I don't want to spoil iZombie for anybody. So.
That's, very kind.
Yeah. Speaking of iZombie, we should do a whole podcast just on iZombie, because I could talk about that for a while.
I mean, our podcast has very little structure. We could always just every other podcast. I don't know what you're talking
about. Oh my god.
I bet we could do an episode a week of iZombie and fill out half the podcast with just that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be unmanageable to work that into our whole idea.
I have no objection to rewatching iZombie for like the 5th time.
Well, then I can always add a second theme song into what I'm trying to make, so we can have an intro into iZombie time. It's especially good if that never happens, because then we just have all these plans for it. So, did you have any big thoughts on The Christmas Prince? I know you have a lot of notes.
Let's see, my other notes. I love all the made up country names in all of these movies.
They're pretty bad. I didn't write the one down from The Princess Switch, but that one is
I can't remember. One of them is Aldovia.
Okay, yeah, I think that's The Christmas Prince. Because I think Princess Switch is Belgradia.
I think you're right. But I like how all of the made up names always sound like, I don't know, Aldovia to me, maybe this is wrong, but sounds almost like a little Eastern European.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe it's just the Ia, the Ovia, that sounds kind of Eastern European to me. But everyone just is like a boilerplate English accent person.
Yeah. It makes me think of the land they go to in Gymkhana.
In where? I haven't.
Oh.
I haven't seen that.
Okay. I'll
wait, say it one more time. What is that?
Gymkhana?
Okay. No, definitely have not seen that before.
If you opened up a window with a trailer for it, you would be doing the work that I'm about to do to you.
Okay. Okay, I'll do that work to myself.
This movie got me fired from one of my jobs.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, how do you spell that?
Gymkata, I think.
This is bad.
What's bad?
Oh.
His title, 3-time world gymnastics champion.
How did you get fired over this?
I can explain it. I've actually told you before, but it's a weird story. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You not remembering.
Why is this rated R?
Oh, it's very violent. and sexy.
This is so good. Why is he? Why are they? Okay, I fucking love the concept of combining gymnastics and karate.
Yeah.
Doing the pommel horse and like kicking people.
Oh, so that pommel horse shows up in the middle of a town full of what appear to be abandoned buildings that are just full of crazy people that want to murder.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like the perfect place for a pommel horse to be.
Yeah, and it's in the middle of like a back alley, like a spot where two alleys meet, like a cross section. There's just a pommel horse in the middle. It makes no fucking sense.
That's where I keep my pommel horse. I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah,
That's a pommel horse.
just to sort of quickly recap, I think you'll probably remember the larger details of this story, but I worked at a toy store. The owner of the toy store had like a good friend who had worked there forever with her. And I came in at like the beginning of a week, and that good friend was the only person working there with me. And I was like, yeah, I took a bunch of people to go see Jim Cotta in a theater. I fucking love that movie. And she was like, oh, that's great. And then I proceeded to talk about how like that's like the most ridiculous movie that like still has a lot of action. Like it's the dumbest and the best. And then like I wasn't sure if she liked it or disliked it, so I tried to keep it like neutral-ish.
Yeah.
But it turns out she used to be a gymnastics instructor, and she took like a big group of people she was instructing to see Jim Cotta as like an event when it came out, and loves that movie. And then the rest of the week, she treated me really weird. And then she was gone on, I think it was that Friday or the next Friday, and the boss was the only one working, and she let me go because I didn't mesh well with the other employees. Everything had been fine at that place for like months with all of the employees. I got along fine until that week when I had shit talked Jim Cotta.
Oh my god. That is hilarious. I thought for a second you were gonna say that she was like in the movie, or that she had like what is the word that my brain is searching for right now? Like assisted with the stunts, or like taught people how to do it or something.
Yeah. That would make more sense instead of just being offended.
That's a really interesting reaction for her to have. Being really mad that you didn't like a movie.
That week I also got like a bunch of weird chores thrown my way that were not things that I had ever done in the past. Like I was supposed to go sweep all of the leaves out from in front and behind the store, which is fine, except they have a leaf service that does that. And as soon as I had finished, the guy walked by and was like, "Why are you doing this? We always clean the leaves off." Just a lot of like very strange, like pseudo punishments that I have to believe were tied to that.
Well, it's not great that you got fired, but that's a pretty good story.
Yeah, I mean, it was maybe my lowest paying job I've had, so it's okay that I got fired. But I was definitely in a bad place. I think that's where I worked before I worked at Nintendo. So it was a decent step up.
No, that's good. Now I need to watch Jim Cotta because that was fucking amazing. The 30 seconds that I saw.
You definitely need to watch it.
Also, going back to Christmas Prince, their castle looks like it's from Leavenworth.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
It totally does.
It's kind
But
of like
not not Bavarian, not like authentic. It looks like it's from Leavenworth that tries really hard to be tourist authentic, I think. So
yeah, I did kind of get Leavenworth Outdoor Festival from the Princess Switch as well.
yeah. Oh, maybe that was one of my notes. It works for both of them.
Yeah.
I think that is actually from one of my things that I was going to say about the Princess Switch. My brain is just dying with all of this Christmas movie information.
Well, you got to get Jim Cotta in there to
as
break up all the
a palate cleanser. One other thing I wrote down about the Christmas Prince. Oh, at his coronation, they're like fancy decor for his coronation is a backdrop of string lights. It just looks really odd to me. I would have to like, maybe I can find a picture of it, but I don't know. It was just weird. The set design of the movie is weird.
It does feel like their budget was renting out somebody's mansion. Like it doesn't seem very produced for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Coffee is being made.
Oh yeah, but I just finished mine before we got online. A lot of sizzling and clanking happens.
Yeah, we just have one of those like stovetop ones. I want to get an espresso machine.
Yeah.
But
you want to get?
That's all.
You want to get?
That's
one of these.
Yeah. What are you doing? Unofficial third member of the podcast is stomping at me. And do I want a garlic? No, I don't want a garlic. Unofficial third member of the podcast, Evan, has taken to eating garlic cloves like it's a fucking normal thing to do.
It cleans you out.
It also clears out the room because your breath smells like garlic and your whole body smells like garlic.
Yeah, it's got to go somewhere.
And it just seeps out the pores, and that's where it goes.
It's like an antiseptic coating. It just also smells weird. And is very oily.
Oh god, that's so gross. Okay. Anyway, back to Christmas movie. I don't even. Oh, the other thing that I thought was really funny is that in A Christmas Prince, you know, okay, so you know how she finds, she like cracks the code with the poem, and she finds the parchment paper in the acorn ornament.
Yes, it's been a while since I've seen the first one, but I do remember that dumb shit.
Why? Okay, it's set in like now times. So why is this man still writing laws on like deer hide with a quill pen? Is that how laws are written still?
How else are you gonna do it? You gonna what? Just type it up?
Yeah, I mean, that would be stupid. Just pull up the Word doc that is the laws of your land.
If it's typed out, it's harder to just assume whatever you want out of it.
That's true.
As I've seen, that's like one of the main things that laws are for, is that anybody can say that they're anything.
Yeah, that's why we have them. Oh, and also, like, why not just fucking tell them that you're changing the law so that your adopted son can be king rather than hide it in an acorn? Like, I guess it was supposed to be a Christmas present to his wife, but, like, seems like something you should do sooner rather than at Christmas.
It's a weird dynamic.
That
Everybody's
bothered me.
relationship in that show feels the most like written. Like none of them seem like they actually just would be the way they are.
Yeah.
Not that
Yeah.
that's too different from most of these Christmas shows, but like the Christmas Prince stuff especially feels like that to me.
Yeah, it was very, I don't know. All of the characters just seem very, what is the word? I don't know. Eh,
Goobery?
I'm giving up on that sentence. Tubery? Yeah, that yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
Well, on the other side of that, I had not seen the Princess Switch before, and I ended up really liking it, but
Yeah.
also I think I hate pretty much everything about it as well as really liking it. Like I would watch it again for sure. Uh, I think that movie was almost not thirsty enough. Because they do have bits where it's just like, oh, now here's your doppelganger's good friend. Why is he not wearing a shirt? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
But then he's just like standing in the doorway, like doing the like where's the beach until he finds the what is it, like toothpaste? Like
Yeah.
that scene especially felt like it was shot as though they were trying to make like a much more like adult-ish movie. At least
Yeah.
for that, like I could see that in like a PG-13 like J-Lo movie having that scene. And then it ended up in this movie, and I kind of wanted it to go more that direction as opposed to it just being like this weird. It's almost weirder in a PG movie to have people like uh, basically thrusting at each other in like various portions of the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like I kept forgetting that it was supposed to be PG because yeah, there are a lot of scenes that feel like, oh, they're gonna do sex, but they don't.
Uh,
And then I
I'm
remember.
pretty sure that she's gonna do sex to him now, and then they just
I
don't
think
do
that's
it.
yeah. It's kind of disappointing. It's like I want to see it happen, please.
To the point where when she does eventually like mouth kiss uh that weird lipped prince man, it's
Mhm.
it's like I don't know, it feels like it should have happened a long time ago in the storyline,
Yeah.
but they play it as though it's never happened before.
Yeah. Um. Also, I don't think they could have cast a more boring person to play the prince. Why
No,
is the prince so boring?
the prince is not interesting at all.
Like
But he
not interesting looking, not interesting personality, just like Prince Man, and that's about it.
and he also has the cumberbunch mouth, but without the rest of the cumberbunch angles on the face.
Yeah.
And most of what makes that weird looking man work is that all
Mhm.
of him is weird looking. So it kind of falls together the right way. And this guy just has the mouth. And
I'm
so it
looking up pictures so that I can. Oh yeah, you're totally right.
and it kind of feels uh like they just got a stand in for somebody like uh Mr. Sherlock.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually did not pick up on that before, but yeah, he looks um like who they might have based like a Ken doll off of.
Yeah. And
Um
it weirded me out because if you go back and watch the scene where they do finally kiss and they like show more of it, it is very obvious that he does not have an upper lip at all. And it weirds
that's
me out.
true. Uh, I'm looking at a picture of his side profile and it's really bad, really funny. This is not at all conducive to a podcast audio medium, but his face goes like this, and then his bottom lip is like. I'll send the photo, but
what's his
you're
name
you're
so
welcome
that people
to.
can look it up?
Okay, it is. It is. Sam Palladio?
Sam
Wait,
Palladio?
wait. He is a. Yeah, I think that's him. He is. For some reason, I just saw something pop up that said he was a Christian musician. Which
I
is
would believe it.
really good. Yeah, I need to go deeper on this. I need to listen to his Christian music.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to report back on that, because now I'm pretty interested in his whole deal.
Yeah, his Wikipedia is about like 3 sentences long.
Oh, good.
And but yeah, I'm interested in hearing his music. But yeah, I think his name is Sam Palladio. So if you're interested in seeing a man with just one bottom lip,
The man with the face that God forgot.
but he didn't forget about God, clearly.
I wonder if there's a sound difference in how he sings.
Oh, I don't know. I will investigate and get back to you on that.
Good. And then honestly, everybody in this movie, I wouldn't be surprised if they were in a Christian band.
Yeah.
Like, Hudgens strikes me as somebody who probably goes to church a lot. And the guy who plays the best friend seems like he's way too put together. Like, he either has to be some sort of like male model, or he has to be in church all the time, or both.
I have to be in church. Yeah, that relationship is so annoying to me. Like the daughter being like, "Hey, why aren't you together? Because you obviously really like her." And he's like, "I've never thought of her that way." And I'm like, "Fucking bullshit. You've been best friends since high school and you've never considered that she's hot? Like, shut up. That's so not true."
Look,
I don't believe that.
I just like cooking with her, and we do stuff together apparently every second of every day based on what that movie
As a family.
As a family. She has secret handshakes with my daughter.
And she's pretty attractive, but I've never thought of it that way. Okay.
It's
but
it's a little unbelievable. And then also, what is his life like if he's like apparently in the gym 24/7 trying to like sculpt his abs into perfection? Like, what does he do besides just go to the gym and cook? Like, that has to be his whole life if he's a dad.
I think that's about it. Which explains why he's never thought of it, because those things are very time consuming and brain consuming. His name is Nick Sagar.
Nick Sagar?
Nick
Okay.
Sagar. I have no idea how that would be pronounced, but I'm trying to. He does not have he's not.
Oh.
But he really does look like he. Ooh. Nope, not a Christian musician.
Did you find pictures? I was gonna say that's the ooh sound of finding some good pictures online.
Just a lot of shirtless pictures. Oh, and I think this one's naked. Yeah, not a Christian musician.
Okay, well that's good at least.
He has the face of one though.
He has a face that seems like it's designed to accept makeup, which
yeah. Mm-hmm.
can kind of go in any direction, but Yeah.
Yeah.
In
I mean,
the
all of them do.
in the world of guys who are smoke shows, which apparently is part of this week's theme, that guy and Raul Coley from iZombie, I would watch them
Yeah.
make out. That would be all right.
I'd be fine with that. The princess switch, but it's just them making out. Yep.
Yeah, a higher
Yep.
rated princess switch, and the princess is Raul Coley.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I want for Christmas.
He has a bad American accent, so that would work perfectly. He could do the
Oh.
fancy, like British, and then he could do the like Chicago, United States poorly.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's a great idea. We need to like DM him on Twitter and say, "Hey, we have your next project ready."
It would it would be good timing too, because I'm pretty sure he like gained weight for a role or something.
Oh, really?
I think
Well,
so.
now I have to Google that.
It was either that or
one
a
thing that
joke.
really, oh, maybe. But one thing that really pissed me off about the Princess Switch is they spend about like 1 hour trying to teach each other to be each other, and
Yeah.
the majority of that hour is like, how do you walk? Not.
Also, it was very weird watching Vanessa Hudgens judge Vanessa Hudgens on pretending to be Vanessa Hudgens. Because it's more than any movie that has multiple people, that movie definitely has a sort of like, it's very clear that this person is just playing these two people and looking towards the person who they're also playing.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I had not even considered that until this moment, that she is just probably playing by herself in those scenes, which I guess might be hard.
They have the other lady there for most of them.
Oh. Yeah. That makes sense. But yeah, they spent a lot of time on their walk, and they do not talk to each other at all about like what's happening in their lives.
It's how to walk, and it's the family tree is like the stuff that they show each other.
Which she doesn't even get right later on. She still fucks that up. Yeah, there's no, hey, I left to go get an apron, so like you should probably mention that, or something. Yeah.
Also, I feel like the accent trying to do like a sort of Britishy accent was believable enough because she wasn't very good at it as either character. But her pretending to do British accent and then fall into American accent was rough every time. Because it was like somebody doing like a hello my name, and then just like falling directly into their normal talking voice.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed the accents. I think they can like kind of get away with the accents being bad because they're all from a made-up country.
Yeah, and also on the things that I didn't like about that movie, that duplicitous daughter who is like, hey, like my favorite person in the world is this lady that I've known my whole life, and I desperately want my dad to be fucking, but you'll do.
You look like her, so
you look like her, and you also said you'd buy me some classes over the summer, so I mean that works too.
That's fine. You know the secret handshake, so like guess it's cool.
Also, what happens to the I guess they're both gonna be like prince and princess style people now, but it seems like that Chicago restaurant is just sort of fucked.
Yeah. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things that maybe or, wait, is there a Princess Switch 2? I think there is.
Oh, really?
I think there might be. But yeah, they really don't tie up any of those loose ends. And they don't ever address that. Like, I thought, maybe my brain is making this up, but I thought that she was marrying the prince out of like some obligation to because of her country, because she kept saying,
Right.
like, oh, it's my duty. But like
Yeah,
that just disappears.
Yeah, like, I hope that the rest of your country is fine with this.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, because her parents were dead, and she was like, I don't want to disappoint my dead parents, so I should marry this prince. And then that doesn't happen, and so
But
I
you know
guess her
what?
country is just fucked.
This underwear model seems all right.
That seems fine.
And I mean,
eh,
given those choices, yes, of course. But
obviously, yeah.
still, weird choices by the character motivation.
It also bothers me that she has like little to no chemistry with either of those men. I just don't like it at all. It's not nice to watch. They don't seem like good together.
Yeah, no, that is a movie about guys staring at Vanessa Hudgens longingly, but still not being incredibly believable. I feel like again, those two guys probably would have had more chemistry than either of them with Vanessa Hudgens in that movie.
I would like that much better. I honestly just
I'm not usually a gay shipper, but I feel like the Christmas movies are turning me into one.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities for gay relationships, and they're really wasted on these straight people. Oh, there's also a really good line where she's who is it that she's talking to? Like the one evil character that doesn't do anything in the show, like her rival lady, whose only offense is like she wants to win too.
I mean, she does cheat. She cuts their
power.
Oh,
That's true. They cheat.
Also she mispronounces puree, which I hate. Did you catch that?
No, what did she say?
She has to make I think it's a raspberry puree for the cake they're making.
Yeah. How does she?
She says like puree. She says like something that is just off a little bit, but it's off enough to where like, have you never said that word? And also they act like it's like their time is going to be up if they don't, like, it's going to take an extra like 4 minutes to puree this using her like whisk or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the end of that competition, they have built a like 12-layer cake with that puree in like strips inside each layer, which means they were still at the very beginning of that contest. So they didn't have a mixer for any of the cake stuff they were doing, apparently.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense baking wise. Also, they were making puree as like the first thing, which also makes no sense because they didn't have anything in the oven, apparently. Also, those ovens were way too small to have housed that cake. It's all garbage.
It's so bad.
That competition is nothing.
Also, I don't believe them actually winning the competition because they had the most boring cake. Yeah. It was all just like shitty fondant, and the other lady's cake was like bouncing ornaments, and I'm like, that's a fucking cool cake. Hers was just like a tier cake with raspberry in it. It's super boring, like not even creative at all. The one behind them was like, I don't know what the cake situation. I think it was supposed to be a tree, but they had like, I don't know if it was glitter confetti like streamer things that made it look like a tree. It was so much cooler. They had the worst cake.
Yeah, it was the family values of cakes. It's not very good. Have you ever
was
seen cake sitting
very
videos?
cake sitting?
Yeah.
Oh, like people sitting on cakes?
Uh-huh.
Is that a thing? Oh, of course that's a thing.
That's another,
gross. No.
that goes in the same category as ASMR for weird perv videos on the internet. Hey, look,
Yeah,
nobody said podcasting was going to be easy. Sometimes you got to learn about some new things.
Please don't make me learn. um. Oh. So okay, one of my notes is the evil lady who cuts their cord. There's a really good line where apparently she and the main lady have like some kind of backstory where the red hair lady, I think she has red hair. I don't remember her name.
Yeah, they went to the Culinary Institute together.
Yeah, and she like fucked her teacher.
Yeah.
And she was mad about that. But what they say is Vanessa Hudgens at one point say that she sauced her professor's berries.
Right, yeah.
That was really good.
It's always some sort of weird, like, I feel like they could have used a little more of that evil character, but I also feel like most of these movies should actually probably be like TV miniseries. Like, that would make more sense for how much shit is going on.
Yeah, I mean that's the second movie they've done that in, where they introduce some person who's supposed to be like a bad character, and then they don't do anything except for
you
like
mean the other Vanessa Hudgens Netflix movie?
Yeah.
Now this other red-haired bitch, have you seen her? Because I also went to school with her, and she's a fucking slut. And then she comes out and is like, "Hey, well," and at the end of the Princess Switch, she's like clapping and like, "Oh, it is beautiful that they're together." Like, wait, what? Also, it seems like she and her sous chef are also becoming an item in the like 2 seconds that they show them at the end. Even though she's been a total
really
asshole.
mean to him.
Yeah.
I want the Princess Switch, but it's that lady, 2 of that lady, and 0 of Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah, I feel like just in this like last 2 weeks, I've seen more Vanessa Hudgens than I ever need to.
I don't think we should stop. I think we should keep going with the Vanessa Hudgens cinema.
Probably.
I don't know what the next stop is.
Well,
but...
I guess we're gonna have to watch Spring Breakers next because I'm not sure where to go.
I've never seen that, so I guess
I want to say I was drunk, I think, when I watched it, but I want to say that she makes James Franco fillet a gun that she's holding where she would have a dick, which, hey, it's more interesting than these movies.
Yeah, I mean that's good. I'm glad she's spicing it up a little bit.
Well, that's before she did these movies, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, because the Princess Switch is like semi-recent. It's 2018.
Okay, yeah, so it was before both of these movies. Because The Night Before Christmas is from this year.
All right, I'm looking up her filmography so we can know what.
Yeah, I don't really know anything other than those 3 of hers. She's a Disney person, though, right? That's what you were saying.
Yep. She's in Sucker Punch. We could do that.
Oh, right. I feel like we need an internet research theme song as well.
Something to play in the background while I silently Google.
Yeah, like
and not talk.
Key clacking beats with some sort of loud whining noise over it. That would be good.
Yeah, that would be good. All of her awards are from High School Musical, and nothing else.
So she jumped from High School Musical into some other weird shit.
Yeah. Honestly, I think High School Musical might be the best work she's ever done, and that's Disappointing.
If you like High School Musical, then it is the best work that she's ever done. I don't know. I would watch The Princess Switch before I would watch High School Musical. I would probably even watch The Night Before Christmas before. I think they're bad movies, but there's, they don't yell bejabbers at any point in a High School Musical.
That's true. What's actually really funny, I was the other day on Twitter, it was trending like Ashley Tisdale again. You know how she's like the villain in High School Musical.
Uh-huh.
She plays Sharpay, and everybody was realizing. I think I don't know what brought this on. I think High School Musical was put on Netflix or something, so people were talking about it. But everyone was like realizing that she actually really doesn't do anything wrong to be the villain. She's just mad because she's not getting the lead roles, and she's actually working harder than anybody else in the series.
I feel like that's a lot of kids' movies when you look at it. The villains are actually like pretty okay. Well,
they're just like really motivated individuals who are opposite the main character, so that makes them bad.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, what was I? Oh, I was just thinking of the villains being okay in kids' movies. You ever watch A Bug's Life?
Yeah.
That grasshopper that's played by Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, it's been so long since I've seen A Bug's Life. But yeah, I do remember that. So,
A Bug's Life's antagonist is played by like a sexual assaulter. And then Ants is
God.
The lead character in Ants is played by Woody Allen. So
really,
you can't watch bug movies anymore.
That's really funny and terrible. What other bug movies are there?
I mean, I guess you could call Honey, I Shrunk the Kids a bug movie.
Kinda, yeah. I can't think of it.
But Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is more like a Greek tragedy than anything.
And that, yeah, I can't think. Is there anything problematic in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Probably.
No, unless you consider Rick Moranis problematic because he loves his wife too much.
Canceled.
Yeah. That hero ant dies. That's problematic.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah.
Have I seen Ants? I think I've seen Ants. I think
I legitimately really liked Ants for a little while. Like I was given the like chunky ant. I think he's played by like some 90s actor.
I will look this up.
Beefy Ant from Ants.
Beefy Ant.
This is the Wikipedia theme song. I'll insert it here.
Do you remember? Well, clearly not, because we're referring to him as Beefy Ant.
Ants has a Z in it. It's not Ants with an S.
Yeah. Okay. Is it? There's one played by Sylvester Stallone. Is that the?
I think that's probably him. Yeah. Is it Clay?
Okay.
What's his name?
Corporal Weaver.
No, that's the bad guy.
That's okay. I'll just read off the names of ants.
Read off the names from ants, please. Start at the top.
Okay. Okay, so we have Woody Allen's person is Z. Gene Hackman as General Mandible.
Okay, no, that's the bad guy, for sure.
Okay. Sharon Stone as Princess Bala.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Then we have Sylvester Stallone. J-Lo as Tekka.
Holy
Nice
shit.
J-Lo.
All right, I gotta look some stuff up too, I guess. I don't remember.
Christopher Walken. Why are there so many like famous people in this movie? Christopher Walken as Colonel Cutter, Danny Glover as Staff Sergeant Barbados. These names are fucking bananas.
I think Barbados is maybe who I'm thinking of, but now I cannot believe there's that many people in Ants.
There's a lot. Anne Bancroft, Dan Aykroyd. Aykroyd.
Come on.
John, I don't know this. Oh my God. John Mahoney.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What the hell?
Why? R.I.P. John Mahoney.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking the character I was thinking of that I had an action figure of must have been either Sylvester Stallone's character or Danny Glover's character, but I really can't remember anymore. But now, if I go back and watch it, I feel like I gotta find it pirated somewhere, so I'm not supporting a weird pedophile man.
Yeah, do that. Oh my God.
We could have a problematic insect movie podcast.
Ooh.
Everybody's favorite.
Right after the problematic ASMR podcast.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love the names of the titles of the tracks, the soundtracks. The Ants Go Marching to War. Weaver and Azteca Flirt. That's just the name.
Okay, yeah, really inventive.
The Big Shoe.
Who did the soundtrack? It's got to be a notable composer. I really hope it's not Danny Elfman.
It's Harry Gregson Williams and John Powell.
Okay.
I don't know, but they wanted Hans Zimmer, but they did not get him.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah. Jeffrey Katzenberg wanted Hans Zimmer to compose it, but he was too busy with The Prince of Egypt.
Prince of Egypt.
Which has a really good soundtrack.
Yeah, it's also a good... I saw the advanced screening of Prince of Egypt because because of future Pop Secret things. And I liked it. It was in a theater that I think doesn't exist anymore in Seattle, but was like fancy. Oh, actually, no, I think it was the opening when they originally opened the Pacific Place Theater. I think that was one of the first things that they like showed was a advanced screening of The Prince of Egypt. It's like in the late 90s or some shit. And I was a little kid, and even then I was like, this movie's too religious, but I like what they're doing with it.
There's a lot of really famous people in that one too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird... That was like post the Lion King and Aladdin like storm of like animated movies are the future kind of thing.
Oh.
So everybody was trying to make like big budget animation, and most of them were kind of garbage.
Oh. Yeah, there's lots of... They got Sandra Bullock, Jeff Goldblum. Danny Glover.
Danny Glover? He was two-timing him.
Apparently. Helen Mirren.
Wait, she was in the other one too. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think she was. Wait.
I'm checking. I might be... No, I think I'm thinking of Jane Kirk.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
Anyway.
Crisis averted. Well, I'm glad that Danny Glover was in both.
Yeah, good for Danny Glover. Nice job, Danny Glover. Diversifying films.
Danny
We've got
Glover being a lot of people's gilf.
Wow.
What were you getting to in this animated Wikipedia sesh?
I don't know. I was just scrolling through the Ants Wikipedia looking for. Oh, there's a sequel. Or no, the sequel got canceled.
Good.
That's too bad. Too bad.
I remember that movie being fun to watch, but the storyline being like a lot of nothing. And I can't imagine them having a sequel that means anything.
I don't know why I had this impression from my mom, I think. But for the longest time, I thought that Ants was like, I don't know why I thought this, like a raunchy, rated R kind of response to A Bug's Life. And so I never watched it because I don't know why I thought that. Like, nobody ever told me that. I just
I
thought that's what it was.
I saw Ants first, and I saw A Bug's Life like with my little sister. We like rented it or something, and or no, my little sister had A Bug's Life, so I ended up watching it with her. But Ants was more adult in the sense that it was talking about like workers' rights, and it was like it wasn't anti-troops necessarily. But it was sort of like anti-war in general, which, like, I think that's why I liked it, because it was a very, like, it was meant at least to be very socially motivating, which is something that, while that child toucher is up his own ass, he is pretty good at making, like, commentary on, like, unfair social situations and stuff like that. And then a Bug's Life was about how there were evil bugs that wanted what the good bugs have, I guess. Like, it was incredibly uninteresting once I finally saw Bug's Life. But their characters and their animation and their music and everything was all better, like you would expect.
Yeah. Well, to bring this full circle, Vanessa Hudgens really wants to work with Woody Allen, so Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah.
So
it does all work together.
It all meshes in a really terrible.
Ants 2.
Starring Vanessa Hudgens.
Ants 2, a ant switch of some kind.
And ants. Oh my god.
Maybe she could play one of those spiders that looks like an ant, so it can go hang out and not be noticed.
Yeah, there you go. We solved your career for you, Vanessa Hudgens. Don't worry about it.
You can be a spider that looks like an ant.
You finally get your chance to work with Woody Allen.
I did want to talk about something that was making me very angry, and probably is not something that people will agree with, but you haven't seen, also, side note, the reason why the High School Musical stuff came up again is because it's on Disney Plus. But the other thing that's on Disney Plus is The Mandalorian, which I have been enjoying because I like the idea of having characters that don't take helmets off, which is a dumb reason to like it, but I also like Dread a lot because it feels more in character when they're not doing. Did you ever see the Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd movie? That's good. So in that, he wears the helmet like twice, I feel like, and it's for like maybe 5 minutes of the movie total, and that's like the whole character is sort of that weird Warhammer 40K garbage of like you're basically you're almost like surgically in a suit so that you can be like a super soldier kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the helmet is supposed to be like a piece of how you're like intimidating people almost.
Okay.
And in the Judge Dredd movie they made with Sylvester Stallone, he like doesn't wear it, and I think he's like walking around without anything for a lot of it, of just like, hey, I'm a dude, which is not interesting at all. Um, and in Dredd, did you see that one? Probably not.
No, I didn't see it. What do you? Oh, here you go. Ah, sorry.
um, uh,
No, I never saw that.
so Dredd is really good, and it's like incredibly violent, but I like it. Uh, and in that one, they totally commit to the bit, and the I always forget the guy's name, but he's really good. He plays Bones in the new-ish Star Trek movies.
Okay, I haven't seen those.
Yeah. Also, you're fine, but um, he's a good actor. You've probably seen him and stuff, but he's rarely like us. He usually plays a character really well, but he's not like a standout actor. Um, anyway, so the Mandalorian kind of uses a tiny bit of that cred, where like the story with those characters is kind of based around like not having an identity past your tribe identity. So I like that they do the whole helmet thing. And there's a lot of things about that show that I really like. It's like dumb Star Wars shit, but played like more like they're trying to entertain people, as opposed to like a lot of the Star Wars movies past the first three, where it doesn't feel like they're trying to make a movie so much as they're trying to make like toys.
Yeah.
And like Boba Fett's already made a billion toys and people love that character, and this character is like enough like Boba Fett to where it kind of just has that same appeal.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, in this like this show is basically like old TV shows in structure. Like it feels very much uh, like a Xena or a Buffy or a or one of those things where like there's a problem in each episode and there's some trailing bits from the last episodes, but it's not really something you can't sit down and watch any episode in. Like you can start at episode 4 and you're not going to get all the context, but you get it. Uh,
Yeah.
and like the acting is fine and the writing is fine and the effects are good and the music is good. Uh, but they put this fucking Baby Yoda shit in it, and it's I even like the sort of preamble to it where people, oh, what the fuck is his name, the weirdo director who did um all of the sort of not well sort of nihilistic stuff in the past. Anyway, he was like insisting that they use the puppet for the Baby Yoda stuff and not just making it like a CGI monstrosity, which I totally agree with. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I I don't mind that the Baby Yoda exists. Like that doesn't bother me. I do kind of wish that it were just, I don't know, like it could be a squid or something, and that would also be fine. But
Mm-hmm.
like the fact that they have this character and it gets so much screen time, and it is clearly just like it worked out really well for them, and now it's like in the show more and more. I feel like it's definitely the focus of the first like arc of like 3 episodes is all about like this Baby Yoda and how this job that sort of had to do with it goes. But now it feels like the show is about Baby Yoda, and this guy who was the focus of the show is sort of there, and like I still like the characters in it, but I wish that nobody cared about that Baby Yoda. That would really help.
You're not a fan of the Baby Yoda craze?
I think it's fine, but its level of popularity is frustrating.
Have you seen? Okay, I'm gonna send you something.
Okay. Is it a Baby Yoda?
It's not Baby Yoda. It is Yoda, but
Okay.
I saw this monstrosity the other day.
I think my problem with it is it feels very Airbuds to me. It feels like you cut away from this guy doing his like bounty hunter stuff, and there's a dog dunking a basketball, and then everybody's like, "Yay!"
Okay. I'm sending you Teenage Yoda.
Okay. And yeah, that's disgusting.
That's exactly what we don't want.
Yeah, it's kind of this Yoda's got a lot of yaddle energy that I don't like dealing with. He looks like a yaddle that fucks in a way that is unpleasant because he also has like a lot of brow ridge and like Yoda dreadlocks.
Yeah. I found this the other day on Twitter, and somebody wanted to illustrate what emo teenage Yoda would have looked like, and they did it.
Yeah, they did it.
They did it to us. Also, I don't recommend Googling teenage Yoda. It's not good.
Oh, well, that's bad.
There are way too many tattoos of Baby Yoda happening already. Oh my god. I just found a Baby Yoda tattoo that I'm going to send your way. Because it's really good. This is not at all related to Yoda or Baby Yoda at all, but
Yeah.
There's a line in The Princess Switch that what is the line? I wrote it down. Like at the end when they're confessing their love for each other.
Yeah.
I think it's the Chicago Vanessa Hudgens that says this. She says, "Normal girls fall in love with normal boys, like you." She says it like she. The way she says it, it's supposed to be. It sounds so mean. It sounds like she's being really mean.
Yeah, I do remember her, like, he's freaking out because this is a new thing. And she's just kind of like, "Oh, don't worry about it. You suck, and I like that."
You're poor, and I like that.
Oh, come on, Skype. Just do what I'm telling you to do and send those nightmares.
No. Why?
What?
What is this supposed to be like Yoda in his 30s?
What? What would you say about that image that I've sent you? Just what's the flavor of it?
It's really bad. I don't like it. Why? He has kind of like a mullet going on.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
Just like a real nasty Yoda.
Yeah. Like if Yoda I feel like he's got a wife beater on underneath his robes.
Yeah.
um,
So what if I told you that character is Yaddle, and he is an established character in the Star Wars franchise?
really?
Yeah, that's Yaddle. That is the scuzzy Yoda with weird hair.
I don't like that at all, and I totally didn't know that was an actual character.
Yep.
What part of where is he from? What part of the franchise is he from? Like, when did he happen?
I think he's in episode like 1 or 2.
Oh.
He just isn't in it a lot, and I think he's in like the extended universe stuff before they decided that doesn't matter. Who got this tattoo?
It's just somebody on Twitter, but it's really good. It's a really good tattoo.
That is the most dated tattoo in existence. Holy shit.
I think, where's the original tweet? Oh, just for reference, we're looking at somebody's tattoo of a baby Yoda holding a white claw. This guy says he got it to commemorate 2019, and I think that the idea of getting a tattoo for every year that you're alive is fucking hilarious. And I think more people should do that.
I'm kind of in favor of this. That tattoo is a nightmare, but like it's a good nightmare.
It's really good. They did the eyes wrong though.
Yeah, Baby Yoda has like spider eyes. Those are not Baby Yoda eyes.
Yeah, that's actually one thing I did not understand about the Baby Yoda stuff. Like, why does he not? Oh, I guess he does kind of have. No, wait. Okay, now that I'm looking at more pictures of him, he doesn't. I thought the eyes were just all black, but I guess he does have kind of like pupils and iris things going on. But yeah, that bothered me at first because I was like, why does he have just like regular black eyes? And then at some point he gets more human eyes.
But then like take a good look at Yaddle's face and he's got like piercing human eyes.
Yaddle. Someone has definitely made a baby Yaddle.
Somebody has definitely made a Yada sex doll. Yaddle.
No.
Be glad I'm poor, or you would have the worst things imaginable showing up at your place at Christmas.
I found a really good picture. I want to send it to you, but it's not letting me save it. Oh. So unfortunate. I wish I could go back before I knew what Yaddle was.
I think that would be the title of the podcast, honestly.
Oh, okay, here we go. It's not letting me. Whatever, it's not worth.
Just take a screen cap, trim it down.
That's just a lot of work for a terrible fucking picture of Yaddle. But I'll do it for the pod who can't even see any of this. This is really good podcast material.
To be fair, we could always put clips up. I do have a channel. We could throw them somewhere. People do need to know about Yaddle is the problem.
I think, the more that we do this podcast, the more I think it needs to be just a weekly Wikipedia, Google image, like deep dive of absolute trash.
Boy, that's a rough Yaddle.
I think it's a doll. So there's your Yaddle doll.
Also, why are they insinuating a timeline?
I don't know. And then Yaddle just looks really sad because he's completely left out and forgotten in this timeline. I don't know. The headline of the article that I got that from is Star Wars Yaddle front Forget Baby Yoda. Who the heck is Lady Yoda?
Ugh.
Wait, is Yaddle a girl?
No.
Oh. Okay. So what are they talking about? Who is Lady Yoda?
Oh, I don't know what Lady Yoda is. Did you find some like weird R34 out there or something?
No, I don't think so. I think this is just a person doing a really deep dive on Yoda timelines, and I'm not really.
Yeah, that is not interesting. Though, um, huh. I don't know how deep I want to dive on Yaddle. Yaddle is.
The next part of the article just says Yaddle explained. Please
Good.
explain Yaddle to me. And this is the image to go along with that.
All right.
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay. So I've received an image of the bad Yaddle puppet from episode 1 or 2. I don't remember. That puppet looks more like somebody has an arm in it than any puppet I've ever seen before.
The facial expression looks like it's got someone.
George Lucas should be ashamed of all of this.
Really bad. Oh no. The eyes just get me. And like the two visible bottom teeth. I hate it. I hate it so much. But yeah, this is a good format. We need to just stream Google deep dives of Yaddle.
Yeah, that could be our internet show that we're workshopping here in Yaddle episode. That is the darkest way to start a project, is by looking at pictures of Yaddle. So I'm glad that that's how it went.
Yeah, it gives me some real confidence in the idea.
Yeah, and we could just call it this week's trash bin or this week's dumpster, and there you go.
The internet trash power hour.
I mean, I'm into it.
I like it.
Also, I am constantly looking for projects that I can be proud enough of to where at the end when I say please like and subscribe, I can mean it, you know? And I think that's one of the few. Yeah.
Yep. I want this to happen. I don't think I have really any other notes from the Princess Switch now that we've completely moved on.
Oh, yeah. No, this did start off by us talking about only these shitty Christmas movies. I was going to talk about art, and I was going to talk about. I have an electric toothbrush now. I'm sure everybody's excited, but.
Woo!
Yep.
Is it a Quip?
No, it's just.
This episode is not brought to you by Quip.
Not yet. I'll take a Quip if people want to send me one. So, do you use an electric toothbrush?
No, I traded them in for like wooden toothbrushes because I'm trying to be nice.
Okay. I have to, take care of what I can because my teeth are hard to take care of.
I can't speak to the effectiveness because I haven't gone to the dentist since I started, so I'll let you know.
Yeah, just as long as your mouth chemistry isn't as bad as mine, you're probably fine. But I had to switch out of necessity, and unofficial fourth member of the podcast, Nick, gave me an early Christmas present of an electric toothbrush.
Hell yeah.
But I did not realize how much they can tickle the inside of your mouth, which is not something I had ever experienced. That's real weird. So But it's good overall. I'm glad to have done it. Anyway,
I like to picture you just standing in the bathroom, like tickling the roof of your mouth.
That's pretty much how it went the first time. I think I'll have more to talk about on art next week. This week for me has been basically watching Christmas movies at like 11 or so at night after getting home from a lot of business. Like I had a show opening and I had a event thing that I went to, and I had some other stuff, and it was a lot. so my week is pretty much just that. So I'll probably save that for next week when I'm I'll probably save that for next week. Getting some various messages from people about bullshit. Anyway,
just
real
just
important.
send them back a yaddle with no explanation.
That's a good call. I'll do that. But yes, art can show up next week when I'm not having to think about it 24/7.
Yeah, that sounds good. I don't really have much else to talk about content wise. What else did I do this week?
Good news. You should just look at the record time because it's ridiculous already.
What, you don't want another hour of yaddle?
I mean, I think everybody listening would want another hour of yaddle talk.
Obviously.
Where they have to do their own research to see yaddle.
A self-guided yaddle tour.
Yeah, a self-guided yaddle experience.
I hate that sentence. Okay, well, yeah, this has been an hour and a half long self-guided yaddle. And I think that'll do it for today. So, goodbye, podcast people.
Oh, but jabbers, I'm out of here.